We are taking a closer look at a key development in Namibia's security industry, the establishment of the Namibia Security Labour Forum. This forum brings together key stakeholders from both the employer and the employee side to address critical issues in the sector. With government backing, the forum now operates under the Memorandum of Understanding signed earlier today. But what does this mean in practical terms for the industry? Now, how will it impact workers and employers as well? To help us unpack this, we are joined on the line by Simon Kandondo to unpack this for us. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
I think there was just a little bit of glitch there. It's actually Celeste Mhunduru, and I am the acting administrator of the Namibia Security Labour Forum.
Sincere apologies, Celeste. Thank you so much once again for joining us this evening. Perhaps just start by giving us an overview of the Namibia Security Labour Forum and its role in discussions with the Ministry of Labour on the national minimum wage. Yeah.
The Namibia Security Labour Forum is a bargaining forum that represents both employers and employees. We facilitate dialogue with the Ministry of Labour, Industrial Relations and Employment Creation, and stakeholders to address challenges, negotiate policies, and ensure that balanced decisions are made within the security industry.
The NSLF supports the government's decision to introduce a phased national minimum wage. Why is it preferred? Why is this preferred approach? Why is it this preferred approach, to be exact? And how does this align with your objectives in the security industry?
This approach had to be taken, and this was just to ensure that fair pay for workers was going to be done, and also at the same time, this would allow employers time to adapt and align with the goal of promoting a sustainable and professional security industry. One of the important things is also that this approach was also to curb the job losses, which was going to be over 5,000 security personnel, which were going to sit without jobs if the approach was not being taken into consideration.
Very well. Now, our understanding is that the NSLF had applied for an exemption of from wage order number 8409. It was issued in August 2024, to our understanding for that. Now, what was the outcome for that application, and what does it mean for the security companies and the workers? Yeah.
The outcome was that we collectively. At first, we obviously did not agree, but then when we collectively then decided to, together with the unions or the employers and the employees, we then together decided, look, we need to approach this differently and we need to request for an exemption. Yeah. And at first, the minister only exempted the association, but then, citing fairness and concerns about the national minimum wage for the entire industry, it got then extended to the rest of the industry, which I believe the minister will then, in due course, pronounce themselves or gazette it within the next few weeks.
Let's talk about the phased implementation of the national minimum wage. How does this roll out in the security sector, and what are some of the wage rates, set for 2024, 2025 this year, 2026, even as far as 2027?
It wasn't a easy negotiation. This negotiation took us nearly a whole year to reach consensus. And what we have agreed on is for 2025, it's going to be $13.50 per hour. For 2026, come 1 January, it will be $16 per hour, and then come January 2027, that should be $18 per hour.
Very well. We do know very well that balancing fair wages for workers with sustainability for employers is always a major challenge. How does this phased approach, aim to strike that balance?
It will ensure fair pay for workers while giving employers time to adjust to this increment, and as well it will be reducing risks of job losses, as alluded, which was going to be over 5,000 security personnel, and this will also definitely give us a better leverage to promote and stabilize the security sector.
As we move towards implementing the amended wage order from the 1st of January 2025, what steps do you encourage all stakeholders to take, to ensure a smooth transition when this actually gets to be rolled up, or that actually even continues with, of course, no hiccups going into the way?
By now, especially our members, they should have implemented already the new wage orders. As for the stakeholders in non-members, we ask them to please comply with the new wage order, as this will obviously, and they need to communicate with employees and collaborate with the employers and the employee representatives, so that we can promote and ensure that fairness and professionalism is stabilized within the security sector.
Now, what are the implications, should the stakeholders involved in this not, actually carry out what they are supposed to do when it comes to, implementing this minimum wage?
We are in collaboration with the Ministry of Labour and obviously the forum. Our main challenge is the regulations, and that is one of the other mission that we will have to tackle with the Ministry of Home Affairs, where we will request them to speedily ensure the implementation of the regulations, because what we do not want to create is a industry of anarchy, where we used to have non-compliance since 2017, and hopefully this we hopefully will be transpiring as soon as we are working on it. Now, but one thing I need to emphasize is that employers, especially those ones who are non-members of SUN, they need to know that the forum, we are working together with the unions. The employers are working hand in hand, and we will take companies on. If companies are found not to be compliant, we will take them on in togetherness with the Ministry of Labour.
Now, apart from the minimum wage, it's very widely known that working conditions of security guards are not that good. What is being done to make sure that those targets are also met for these employers who work tirelessly, working so hard in very, very dangerous and harsh situations? How is this going to be implemented by the union, and how is the union making sure that working conditions of security guards are also very well taken care of?
This is an ongoing process which started very painfully, and it is a continuous process that we are definitely going to have to go at war at, and that is also as part of our obligations with the Memorandum of Understanding, which we signed in December 2024. So we need, Ministry of Home Affairs must come through. They need to enforce. They need to promulgate the act. They need to promulgate the regulations, because without that, these problems will never be solved. But as the forum, we will continue our battle. We will continue the fight.
Now, finally, let's talk about the Memorandum of Understanding that was signed. What were the key takeaways from the signing, and what does this agreement mean for the future of the security industry?
This means that we need to professionalize the industry. We need to ensure that the industry needs to be standardized, and this needs to be done for the betterment of the sector, not just for the sector, but also towards the economy of Namibia.
Very well. I'm going to thank you so much for making the time to talk to us and, of course, shedding light on this initiative and the Memorandum of Understanding that was signed today. Of course, we wish this initiative nothing but the best, and we hope to talk to you again as this, of course, gets to progress.
Thank you for having me, John.
Absolute pleasure. You're still watching the Daily Roundup on NBC. We're going to take a short break and, of course, come back to say goodbye.